Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to be here. I hope the information that I share is something that will be helpful for you. I have a lot to say, and I know that this 15-minute time slot will really go by fast. So I'm going to try to make the best use of the times that we have here. Very excited to be here to talk about health and wellness and to also help you all to understand how things connect together from a thought of thoughts, emotions, and actions, and what all of those things mean. So I'm going to try to get my slides up as we're speaking. And just while I'm getting that up, one thing I want you to do is start thinking about your thought process, start thinking about emotions, and then start thinking about your actions. Because the way I like to teach it is that thoughts and emotions impact your actions. Okay? Thoughts and emotions impact your actions. Thoughts and emotions impact your actions. So let's get some technical things taken care of here. The main thing that we're going to consider today as well is I want you all to start thinking about how do you define certain words. And what I mean by that is when I'm thinking about your thoughts and when I'm teaching about thoughts, I try to help people to understand that the way that you perceive a word actually impacts how other people view you in that word, right? So how you perceive a word actually has a major impact on how you act according to how you told yourself what that word means. So what I want you to try to do is think about how do you define the word strong? And I want you to drop some things in the comment section there. How do you define the word strong? And the next word that I want you to define is going to be dedicated. How do you define the word dedicated? So the first word is going to be strong. The second word is dedicated. Then the last word I want you to identify with is how do you define the word rest? So we have strong, we have dedicated, and then we have rest. Drop some comments there and let us know how you normally define those words. Because when we're talking about it is well, because I am well, the only way that we encompass every day is going to be well, again, is if the person of who we are is well. So as a leadership coach and leadership consultant, I often say my main focus is to focus on the leader versus the leadership role. Because when we take the time to build the leader, and when the leader is well, quite naturally, again, we're going to be better in every role that we feel. So in our role as moms, in our role as staff members, in our role as community workers, we're only as well in that role as we are well as the individual of who we are. So let's get some feedback on that. Again, I want you to be able to identify and express how do you define the word strong? How do you define the word dedicated? And how do you define the word rest? Always keep in mind the way that you address any situation is going to be based on how you define certain words. And now I want you to ask yourself, the way that I have been defining these words, has that definition been working for me? How has that definition been working for me? And do I need to redefine some of those words? Do you feel that the way that you have defined dedicated has caused you to overexert yourself in some areas, right? And if the way that you have defined the word strong, has it caused you to remain connected in some ways that hasn't been healthy for you? And the way that you define the word rest, does it stop you from taking that 5-minute break that you're so worthy of? Please keep in mind that you are worthy to take a break. You are worthy to rest. But if we define the word rest as being lazy, then we will never rest. If we define the word dedicated as meaning that I have to stay right here, I can't take a break, then that means we've defined dedicated wrong. And if we define the word strong as being I can't ask for help. I have to do all of this by myself. I have to show up every day and do this alone. But then that means the way that we have defined strong hasn't been working for us either. Again, make sure that you're asking yourself, how have I defined these words? And if the way that I've defined these words has that definition worked for me, or has it made life harder for me? We're talking about it is well because I am well, and how thoughts and emotions impact our actions. In order for us to be in a good space to have good positive action, it has to first start with us being able to manage our thought process. And if we're in that space where our thoughts are rambling, or if our thoughts are racing, and then our actions over here to our left, our right, they're not going to be stable, and we're not going to make positive decisions, right? So that's the thought part. If our emotional space is not stable because we haven't taken the time to take that 5 minute break when we need it, or we haven't taken the time to figure out what is our favorite theme song and how would that song make me feel better. I always challenge people to develop a theme song when you need to, right? And understand how that theme song would get you back into a better emotional space. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. When our thoughts are cluttered, and then our emotions are cluttered, most of the time, again, we're not going to have positive action. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. So let's see what definitions do we have here. We have our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. We're figuring out, how do I define the word dedicated? How have I defined the word strong? How have I defined the word action? And again, asking ourselves, do I need to redefine these words? So now that you've made your definition for those words, now I want you to go back in and redefine those words. And when I mean redefine, I want you to now choose a definition that's going to be conducive for you to be productive. Again, because if you have defined rest as being lazy, that means whenever you want to sit down and cross your legs for 5 minutes or to take that break, if you have defined rest as being lazy, 9 times out of 10, then you won't take a rest, because no one wants to be considered lazy, right? So if you've defined dedicated again as meaning I can't stop. And if you've told yourself being strong means I can't ask for help, take a few minutes now. I want this to be a very interactive 15 minutes. I want you to work, and I want you to have a better understanding of how thoughts and emotions impact your action. So now I want you to redefine those words. Redefine those words. Yeah, take a minute and redefine what those words mean. Take a moment and redefine what those words mean. I'm seeing some things here already. Yeah. Strong equals positive mindset. Yeah. Our body needs rest. Yeah. Yeah. I often say that growing up in the household with the type of parents that I did, especially my mom, she was raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather was a very hard taskmaster. So one thing that I often say is that the way that she defined strong and the way that she defined work was just that, making sure that we were always busy, making sure that we were always doing things. But as women, we're nurturers, right? By nature, we're nurturers. And by nature, we want to always give and always overextend. But again, if that is not working for us, sometimes we have to take the time to redefine how we see those words. Yeah, rest. Okay, so I like that redefinition. I'm saying that rest actually equals rejuvenation. Good. And strong means actually valuing yourself. And rest is self-care. I like it. Keep working. We have a few more minutes. I like what I see. Dedicated, willing, and open. I like that. Strong equals resilient. I like that too. Yeah, 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 yeah. Giving yourself permission to break. I'm actually teaching a women's rebuild session So I started in January, February, which is going to be my session tomorrow. And then I have one more session in March. And what we're going to do in that session is going to be just that, redefining words and understanding what some of those words mean. Right. So tomorrow I'm actually teaching about setting healthy boundaries. And then the last session, which is going to be in March, we're going to help people to understand the strategies to manage it all, whatever that all is, with the different things that we have to do from day to day. Would you agree to say that we do from day to day is a whole lot sometimes? Yeah. Self-care means giving yourself permission to pause. That's all self-care is. Self-care is giving yourself permission to pause. And ladies, please give yourself permission to pause whenever you need to, because we can't be strong for everyone else if we're not taking that time to be strong for ourselves and understanding actually what it means to be strong. So I'm loving it. Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite songs. I see people talking about their favorite songs in there. I absolutely love it. I have a theme song, and it's actually called Unfinished. And so on those days where life is rough for me and I'm coming down hard on myself, I just remind myself that I have another whole day to get this right. And that I don't have to get it right every day. So sometimes the things that we have to redefine is telling ourselves it's okay to make a mistake. Right. And it's okay not to always get it right. Because what's going to happen? Either our mind is going to be full or we're going to practice mindfulness. And I want to understand, I want to help you all to understand, what does it mean to be mindful versus mindfulness, right? When we're operating every day with the million things that we have to do, our mind is full of everything. Have you ever noticed you can pick up something and put it down and not know where you put it? Or you can actually walk past someone and then you don't even understand. You don't even remember what that person had on. Someone can walk by you and you can say, well, what was that person wearing? You won't even know what that person is wearing. That's because your mind was full and you're not in that space where you're being mindful of where you are. So that's what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is paying attention to where you are in the moment. Saying nothing else matters. I know in 10 minutes I need to be there, but right here in this moment, I'm going to take the time to understand and to realize where I am and to enjoy the moment of where I am now. That's one thing I want you all to work on, being mindful and not having mindfulness. Again, being mindfulness and not having your mind full. Again, mindfulness is taking advantage of the space that you're in now, right? Understanding where you are now, saying what I have to do 10 minutes from now is not as important of where I am right now. Because what happens, again, it keeps your mind full. And then we have so much things going on. One thing I say is that when things need decluttering around us, most of the time, you know what really happens? Our thoughts need decluttering as well. And our emotions need decluttering as well. Yes. And we'll ask ourselves, did I even eat? Yes, that's exactly what it is. You all are getting it, right? Yeah. You can say, what did I have on yesterday? I don't even remember what color I wore yesterday, or I don't know what color car just passed by me. That's because our mind is full. We can lose our car keys, not sure where we put this, not sure where we just put that ink pen, because our mind is too full. But when we practice mindfulness, we're telling ourselves, slow down, enjoy the moment, pay attention to where you are, take some deep breaths, and let it be okay. I spend 30 minutes alone with myself every day. A lot of times it's sitting in my car. Y'all don't laugh at me, but it's a car wash close by where my office is. Sometimes I literally just go sit there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because water is relaxing, but that's a peaceful place for me. I'm going to challenge you all. Give yourself that 15 or 30 minutes a day to just rest, so that you will learn to practice mindfulness so that your mind will not be full. I may have to email out that meditation that I wanted us to practice because I don't want time to get away from us. This is one of my quotes that I created. I say low self-esteem, low self-concept, and low self-worth will keep you in unhealthy situations longer than you need to be there. All of this connects to us being mindful, right? Practice mindfulness. This connects to us being well. Again, when we are well in our self-esteem, when we are well in our self-concept, when we are well and know our self-worth, we can disconnect from unhealthy situations. But when we are low in self-esteem, when we are low in self-concept, when we are low in self-worth, we stay connected to unhealthy situations and we don't know how to set those healthy boundaries. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Your body tells you every day when you need to rest. Your body tells you when you're anxious. Your body tells you when you stress. Anxiety settles in your neck, your shoulders, the top of your back. It settles in your stomach. It may cause sweating. It may cause your heart to beat fast. Pay attention to your body. And when your body is telling you to slow it down, love yourself enough, know your self-worth, and know your value. Understand who you are and know just because I decide to break, it doesn't mean I'm less than a mom. I'm less of a mom. It doesn't mean I'm less of a wife. That means I'm giving myself, the person of who I am, permission to rejuvenate. Because we can't be well as a wife. We can't be well as a mom. We can't be well in our jobs. We can't be well in our communication. We can't be well in those other areas if the person of who we are is not well. So the person of who you are has to be well. And I have like 1 minute left, but the person of who you are has to be well. And in that area, when you find that you're well as a person, you're going to be well in every other area in life. Give yourself permission to rest. Redefine strong. Redefine dedicated. Increase that self-concept. Be more concerned about how you see yourself, which is self-concept. And then your worth will increase as well. And baby, it's nothing like it when that worth and that concept is where it needs to be, because it's like you give yourself permission to block access to everything that's not doing you well. And sometimes that can be our own negative thinking. Remember, your thoughts, the way you perceive a word, impacts your emotions, how you feel, how you connect, and thoughts and emotions together, coupled together, that impacts your actions. Remember, I want you to practice mindfulness so that your mind won't be full. If you want to hear some more, I have a booth later and we can continue this conversation. This has been amazing. And I guess at this time, it's time for me to turn it back over. Thank you all so much. I hope this quick 15-minute was helpful for you all. And again, if you want to talk some more, join me later. I'll be over in our booths.